Hello, everyone, and welcome to another boudoir bad boy bundling baddies and badassery while binding beauty and bodacious behinds. Uncle Gary did a lingerie shoot the other day and made the camera woman vomit episode of the Days Grimm. My name's Brian Michael Day.
My name's Thomas Alfred Grimm III.
Hey.
And I am Andrew Charles Head.
Damn, dude. Look at you guys are on the fucking ball today. I'm so proud of both of you. You guys went full name.
Yep,
You gentlemen doing okay today?
Yeah.
Yeah?
A little dicey there for a bit, but yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, what happened today? You
I
damn near,
just tried to make some money and it almost bit me in the ass, you know.
you almost lost like $500 worth or
More
$1,000.
like 2,000.
Yeah, that's a lot of gear. So,
Yeah.
do you want to talk about
No,
it?
I don't. Drew, how are you?
How are you doing, sir?
Not too bad. I'm glad that it's finally like actual fall weather and it's not 90 fucking degrees in October.
I got all excited. Thought he was about to say, I'm glad it's finally Sunday and I'm in the studio with you guys.
Yeah, no, he doesn't give a fuck.
Sure.
Dude. No, I'm just glad it's not 90 degrees in our fucking recording studio.
Right.
So that's a plus. Tom, one question for you real quick. Hit him with that intro.
Joining us this week in the Days Grimm studio is our boy Alonzo. How are you?
Let's go. What's
Hey,
up?
Dub. What's up, dude? How are you?
Doing well. Can't complain.
You just got back from Venezuela. Where'd you come from? You just got back from somewhere.
He moved to Atlanta.
ATL. How was that?
Hey, a lot of. No, I'm joking.
There is a lot of kids there.
No, I'm joking. We can bleep that. Or we leave it in. We'll talk about it later. No, but Atlanta, is there really a lot of like, I don't know, colorful people? What do you call it?
You know what the crazy
I don't know
part
what
is?
you mean by like,
Are you trying to say black people or gay people?
Gay people, dude.
There is a lot
either
of black
way.
people there. Yes.
Both are true.
Yes.
Dude, Atlanta's sick because they're basically like the new Hollywood. They're recording so many films down there now.
Yeah, there's so many studios now that's down there. And Tyler Perry opened up his studio, which is like, I want to say either the largest studio now. Like, it's crazy.
It should be for the amount of fucking films that man's pumping out.
Yeah.
I don't think so with the amount of actors.
Oh, yeah. What's going on right now?
Yeah, he does have like 5 contracted actors and actresses.
I feel like a lot of directors do that though. Or they just use the same people over and over.
That's fair. So does he start contracting out other directors? You know what I mean? To like,
I'm sure to
spice-
use his space. If
Yeah.
you have the entire space set and you're not doing Medea's going to Florida or Medea's National Lampoon,
Medea's Christmas Story.
they already did that one. I was going with something they haven't done. Medea's Journey to
Yeah.
Mecca. You know what I mean? Like,
Medea converts to Judaism.
Dude, I was just thinking that. I was literally just thinking that. You beat me to the punch. I was just thinking that too.
No, did you get to see any of that stuff while you were down there?
No,
Like the film sets or like any of the studio stuff? Did you get close to it and see it?
Unfortunately not. I went down there for my filmmaking, but ended up like doing more of my photography than anything. I ended up linking up with a guy named VS1. He has his studio down there. Shout out to him, man. Great guy and stuff.
VS1 sounds familiar.
it's a diamond grade. The grade of diamonds.
No, as far as
See, I didn't know that
multimedia
either.
goes, VS1 sounds very, very familiar.
He's pretty popular down there.
What's he do?
He's photography as well. I mean, does others. He knows like a lot of like B-list celebrities.
Okay.
You know, like he's pretty dope. Like I'm always surprised who he had coming to the studio.
Yeah.
Did you meet him through one of those like shared studio like rent a space deal?
No, how did I meet him? No, the first time I went to Atlanta, I was looking at studio spaces and stuff, and I was just needing a studio for the day. And his studio brought up and reached out to him, but where I was at and where his studio was at was like about an hour away.
Right.
So I was like, hey, next time I come down, I would love to, see your studio. And he was like, yeah, man, come down. So next time I came down, talked to him up. He was like, yeah, man, if you want to come in and work with the studio and stuff, you can do that. And I'm like, really? He was like, yeah, man, you can come in, not necessarily be in a partnership, but he was like, you can come and pretty much join the team. So like through him, yeah, he was real great guy.
And his name again is
VS1. Well, his real name is Sanchez.
Sanchez.
Not Hispanic at all. He's not Hispanic.
Dude,
Yeah, I thought so too.
I like him so much more now, dude. If my name was fucking Julio or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and this black dude came out of nowhere. I was like, hey, do you know where Mr. Sanchez is? He was like, see, I am. No, he didn't say all that. But he was like, yeah, that's me. And I was like, ah.
It's like, oh, fuck, what's going on?
That's dope.
Dude, so it's been a while since you've been on the show, but you do recall a little bit about kind of the
Death of the week.
Yeah, I was going to say format was the word I was looking for. You're familiar with the Death of the Week,
Oh,
aren't
yeah.
you? So that's our favorite little segment that we do every week, where we tell you a little bit about how somebody died. Unfortunately, this one's
Fortunate.
woo, buddy. Drew.
Oh, I'm excited for this.
This week's Death of the Week brought to you by Thedaysgrimm.com. Get in there and, just get a t-shirt, get a mug, or just check it out, Traffic is a plus. So check out Thedaysgrimm.com and hit our merch up. Supports the show. So, moving on. This week's Death of the Week. Woman died after, quote, after oral sex when doctor put cocaine on his penis without her knowing, end quote. All right, that's this week's Death of the Week. I mean, do you have to read this fucking article? Like,
Yes.
It's so self-explanatory.
It's a good headline.
So naturally, we selected this one. And this is via metro.co.uk. A man has said that his daughter's alleged killer should be jailed for life after he sprinkled cocaine on his penis without her knowing. The woman, identified only as age 38, allegedly took an overdose of cocaine during oral sex with her doctor, Andreas David
Niederbickler?
I like it. Thanks, Drew. Age 42. The hairdresser did not know that he had sprinkled the drug on his penis during the consensual sex, a court said, or a court was told. Is that pretty much the gist here?
Yeah, I think so.
That's pretty much the gist. Finally, he told the newspaper. Dad has told Bild that he is convinced the doctor chose his daughter. Chose her as his alleged victim. He told the newspaper, quote, he promised to heal our daughter. Now she is dead. She was very pretty and a patient of his. He operated on her twice for tendinitis. Wonder where she got the tendinitis from. You know what I'm saying? Dude, okay, first off,
How do you get the cocaine to stick to your dick if she didn't know about it?
I was wondering, like, how white is his dick? Is like, because cocaine is pretty white.
It's
Yeah.
from the UK.
It might be see-through.
He might have put it in the foreskin.
yeah, it rains.
Sorry.
I feel
That's
like
the only way it makes sense to me.
That-
Maybe he put a bump there and forgot about it and was saving it for later.
Yeah.
I
for
feel
him.
like that would lead directly to his bloodstream, though. If he put it in his foreskin, maybe that's his. Instead of
Transdermal? Yeah, it could be.
snorting, he just stuffs it in his foreskin.
Also, Drew, I have to compliment you. So thank you for picking me up on the last name of Andreas David Niederbickler. I don't know. So it's gotten to the point now to where I'll hesitate on a word, and I used to have to look at Drew. Now he just knows to like pick up.
He's like, save me.
Yeah, he's just like the guy under the net. He's in the paint. He's scoring the fucking points, man.
I mean, I'm pretty sure last time we recorded, you read a name, and instead of saying the last name, you just said Drew.
Take it away. No, but this is okay. So for me, this is a hell of a way to die. Dude, if I was a chick, I feel like that's a cool way to go.
Yeah.
No?
Hairdressers get down.
No?
Yeah,
I wouldn't. Yeah.
It's definitely tight. Like,
If I'm gonna die before the age of 65, I want it to make headlines.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
man.
definitely
For sure.
famous.
So, dude, yeah, fucking.
Well, I was gonna do a death from Florida where this guy got
Don't
accused.
ruin it now.
Well, you can't do. I can't find an actual legit article other than them talking about
Oh, okay.
the court itself.
Okay.
But this guy like choked a girl out while getting head, and she died. And
Killer penis.
he's like 65 years old, and she was young as fuck.
Yeah.
How do you choke someone out
I don't
'Cause
know,
that's
but
like
he
an
asked,
awkward.
he asked if he could show his dick as evidence in the case.
That's hilarious.
That's a court hearing I
That's
need
a
to
lit
be at.
65-year-old.
That's where I need to be
That's
at.
a lie.
God, dude, he's
The elephant
he's
man.
starting an OnlyFans soon.
I swear.
For sure.
Killer
No,
dick, 65.
I just wonder, like, where does the go? Where does the go?
Like
They-
my solution's the only logical one.
They used the word sprinkled a couple times.
So what is it? Do you turn around? Hey,
feel
I got
like it's
something
like
for you.
That Salt Bay motherfucker.
Yeah, he's salt baying it on there on his fucking schneagle,
How should you not know that?
putting some schneef on the.
Yeah, gotta have a taste.
It has
too.
to. Like,
does.
No shit, man. I don't know. It probably tastes like
Especially if
medicine.
it's in the UK. How many times has it stepped on to get there?
Right.
I don't know, dude. I'm baffled by that, and also I'm intrigued. You are gone and also forgotten. That's this week's Death of the Week, brought to you by thedaysgrimm.com. Get some merch, support the channel. Man, rough. I don't know how to even transition from that. So now we're done talking about. What's up with you, Mr. Alonzo?
Nothing. Wonder if I got a sister.
So what was it like leading up? So you go to Atlanta, see this space, and the guy offers you the spot on the team. Like, what's that thought process of you like? Because you basically packed up and had to move.
Yeah.
So what was that like? What sold that to you to get up and move?
Well, that part I do that all the time. I'm very irresponsible.
As am I.
Yeah,
I
you
appreciate that.
You live life. Like you discover everything has life to give you. I mean, life has to give you when you just like, you know what, fluff it.
Yeah,
you know,
dude.
you just go. But no, it was amazing. Like, cause I was worried that I wouldn't be able to find a studio. I mean, there's thousands of studios in Atlanta. There's always a studio, but like having someone take you in and be like, oh yeah, you can utilize my studio whenever you want. You know. And it was real cool. And then we went from one studio to an even bigger studio, crazy huge studio, which was nice.
Also, Sanchez's, was it his studio as well?
Yes.
And like, I mean, shared space, shared studio space comes with like lights that are like more often very, very nice backdrops that you can switch out, use.
That's one thing I will say that I really liked about it. The team is like, well, we all was, contributing. So like with lights and stuff, how you say, it was more of like, I could spend $5,000 on my own, or I could be like, hey, I bought a light, this one light costs $1,000 and stuff. But he's like, oh, I also bought a light. And he's like, oh, I bought this new lens and stuff. So it's like, okay, bet, all of us together, we're getting more and more equipment. And it was a nice time. Definitely.
So like as a boudoir photographer, the only downside is like you almost have like basically a treasure box full of props that you'll never get to use yourself. Or do the models bring most of the props for you?
No. I mean, you can always use stocks and stuff. I mean, you can always like reuse them and stuff. Like I recycle, But me personally, I have models bring their stuff because I'm like, yeah. The funny thing is, the girls that you see on my page, all of them bring their own stuff. I didn't tell them to bring anything. I'm just always surprised, So it's like, okay, cool. You brought 2 G strings and a cover, We'll make it work,
Damn. That's aggressive.
Yeah.
But it's also like, I feel like as a photographer, you almost have to have a sense of like improv, of like shit's hitting the fan and I have to adapt on the moment.
Yeah.
You got to have that improv, like.
Especially if you're working with someone who's like, they give you 20 minutes and they're a big name. You have to get the shot,
Right.
Or they come wearing, or they want, what they want is something like you don't have. Either way, you got to make it. You got to make it happen. You know.
Do you think the military helped you with that? Like adapt, overcome?
Yeah. I was just trying to think.
Or like thinking creatively when shit's hitting the fan?
I think the whole remaining calm, like nothing can get me upset. Or like with the military, I think that's when, under pressure or anything happens, you're like, always clear headed.
Brian's the opposite.
Yeah, I spaz, dude.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I got a lot of
Brian was in
concussions.
mortar territory, non-stop.
Yeah, I got a lot of trauma and concussions under my belt.
I'll come in here and like one thing's wrong, and there's like papers everywhere. It's a madhouse. And then I'm like, hey, you forgot to plug in the aux cord.
I'm having a spaz attack and fucking forgot to plug in a fucking light bulb or something. But you were talking about girls. Sometimes they'll do, and just so we're clear, if you've never met or seen Alonzo before, he's a boudoir photographer, correct? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying this wrong, anybody? Okay.
No.
He's a boudoir photographer mostly, and he does great work. But what I was going to say is, you were mentioning that the girls will sometimes like bring their own stuff or whatever. What's like, has any of them ever brought like just like a fucking pet chinchilla or something? And they were like, I want to do this shoot, but also here's my pet chinchilla, Ralphie, or something. And we need to get him in these shots. Have you ever had anything weird like an animal?
No, but I did have a woman bring her kid and was like, hey, you know, and I was like, hey, nah, I'm good. I was like, there's some things I'm not going to touch.
Yeah, dude, we're good here.
And she was like, yeah, no, it's a message, you know. And I was like, yeah, it's called pedophilia. I'm not going with that, you know.
Dude,
Right.
We joked about that with a friend of ours. Tom might remember, but we were talking about.
I ever remember joking about.
It was Meredith. It was Josh Meredith, and we were talking about a boudoir shoot, and he was like really, really young, and he was shoot. A girl asked him, "Hey,
That was Drew.
oh, that was
That
Drew.
was me. Yeah.
But it was during
Josh's episode.
Yeah, that's what I'm remembering wrong. And you were like,
It was my coworker who was like in her 40s and I was 17, and she basically had asked if I would do a boudoir shoot because she wanted photos for her husband, and then I was like, I feel like there's a weird line there.
Yeah.
Like I was like, do you want to wait until I turn 18 and then I can do your boudoir shoot
That's
for
a
you?
question for you, though. Do you feel like a 17-year-old should be out here shooting boudoir photos, like a high school photographer?
Ooh, that is a good
All
question.
right, so
My answer, no.
all right, so I will disagree. It's all about your professionalism. So like a lot of my friends, they'll be like, oh man, you're around naked women all the time, you know, all this. And I was like, yeah, but it's like white noise to me. You know, it's something that you don't really think about. The only thing you're thinking about is the shot. So like hypothetically
It's like
speaking,
you go to the strip club enough times, you're no longer there for the ass and titties, you're there for the atmosphere. The music, the cheap drinks.
Yeah, the stripper's great personalities.
Right.
No, not that.
great wings at the strip club.
Honestly, Tom, I have a bone to pick with you. If you ever get to the point ever again in your life where you now know the lady on stage's real name as opposed to her stage name, you should probably just fucking pump the brakes and chill the fuck out, because you're getting in a weird spiral again.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah,
Just
that's
giving you
where
a
it
heads
starts.
up. That's where it starts, man. Have you ever been in that phase where you visit a club so much you start knowing the girls' real names?
No,
Oh,
but
damn. That's a dark rabbit hole, dude.
that's funny.
That's a band from the club on the way.
That's
Speaking of which, actually, strip clubs is a good topic. How this
Have you ever photographed for a strip club?
that was going to be my point. Yeah.
not for a strip club, but I have photographed a lot of strippers. Like it's kind of like go
because
hand
they
in
all want to
hand.
be models outside of there.
Right, and plus the fans, you know, that thing.
Especially
Everyone.
with the OnlyFans now,
Okay, cool.
or
I didn't know if
like-
we could say that or you know.
Yeah, dude.
you
I
know,
love
branding,
OnlyFans,
but
dude.
like
I'm pro only
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
This past 7 months, you know, I've been shooting a lot of people's OnlyFans content.
For real.
Yeah,
That was going to be a
that's been-
follow-up question I had. So what's that like?
It's messy. No, I'm joking.
So a lot of videos. Gotcha.
It's wet, you know?
It gets a little sticky.
Right, you got to watch out for the splash zone.
Damn, dude.
No, it's. I mean, it's fun. But it's also like, it's weird.
It's like there's a dissociation going on.
Yeah, it's like working at a candy store. After a while, you're like, yeah, Snickers not really what I want or anything like that. And you just see it all the time. So like last 7 months, I've been shooting it so much that it's just work. I don't.
So how many different content creators specifically for OnlyFans do you think you've worked with thus far?
So the last 7 months, let's say, see, looking at my page now.
You think a dozen?
Maybe not a dozen, maybe like 9.
We're tiptoeing around a dozen though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely close.
Damn, dude. So, and then, how do you get into that? How do you even like? Well, obviously you shoot boudoir, so you're kind of at the tip of the iceberg. But like, do these models just say like, "Hey, after a shoot, do they mention to you like, hey, I have an OnlyFans. Do you want to shoot some of my shit?" Or how do you like?
Well, sometimes some people use just boudoir photos for that.
How'd you put yourself in that market? I guess that's what I need to know.
The funny part is like it wasn't a market I was trying to go for. Like I love photography, but like I was just when I was doing my photography, I just wanted to show people's beauty, and I wanted to like really aim for like no matter what the person looks like, I'm showcasing their beauty side.
Yeah.
So then that went to having models come out and then bringing them them bringing their own clothes, but it's always been, it got sexier and sexier. And then my name got known for, hey, if you want to take sexy photos and stuff and you don't want a photographer that's going to like, hey, well, let me do this, it got thrown to me, So then after my page really started blowing up with more boudoir stuff, you get with models. And now since OnlyFans really started blowing up, it goes from like, hey, would you be comfortable with doing this? And I was like, I've had this conversation many times. Yeah, cool. Whatever you want to do, let's, shoot it. Okay. Do you mind if my boyfriend come? I don't mind, have him come through. And then it's like, hey, do you mind? And he's like, oh God. Shoot. Okay.
Do you mind if I?
Right.
Whoa, dude.
It legitimately gets that crazy. And I was like, okay, cool. Man.
That's wild.
Yeah. I didn't picture,
But it probably happened out of nowhere the first time, and you were like, "What the fuck?" You know what I mean? And then after that, you get numb to it. After that.
Damn, that's wild. And these are like, I'm very stupid when it comes to like photography and videography. Are you only shooting some of their stills, or are you doing like video stuff too?
Both.
Really?
Yeah. I got the
new
FS7
key after
Sony.
That. Oh, you Sony.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening?
He's mirrorless Sony.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
This is Sony mirrorless camera. It's like Fuji's like the photo of mirrorless like A1, and Sony's like what everybody's using for like video and stuff for like A1 mirrorless.
We've probably looked at it for
BG
the pod.
uses one.
Yeah. Okay, we have looked at them.
All the JRL guys use one,
and it's the mirrorless concept is the same. I'm assuming between photography and videography.
Yeah.
Essentially. Okay. So what's that like transitioning from one to another? Like, or are there sets where you're like, you have to roll video and then also take stills setups too?
Well, usually I do the photography first and then we'll shoot into the videos and stuff. It's just easier for me doing it that way.
Yeah.
There's a couple that I shoot with and I do the photography of it and her husband does the video of it.
Oh shit! Okay.
And she does mainly like girl on girl and stuff. She's really dope as heck. She
said she really gets the job done.
That's what's up, dude. She's got satisfied clientele.
Yeah,
that's the only upside to like being a lesbian is that she's like, I want deeper. You can just go change out the strap. You know what I
mean? Yeah, 10 inches ain't cutting it. Let's pull out that fucking lightning rod you got hiding in the closet.
Right, with the motor and stuff that goes onto it.
Jesus Christ, dude. Sex toys are getting wild now. Sex toys are getting fucking wild now.
Yeah.
Have you seen this Sabian? Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you seen this thing, Drew?
I don't know the names of sex toys off the top of my head.
It looks like a horse saddle. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, the horse saddle.
And like she like rides it. And
you could Google Sabian right now and it'll pull up. Sabian sex toy. I don't know how to spell it.
Dude, they got like a twerking ass that syncs up to Pornhub now.
Dude, and then the VR and stuff, dude. It's just like sex toys.
Then they have like a sucker and all it does is like suck.
Yeah, this thing. Yeah, it's aggressive, dude. You ride it like a pony, and then it's like the greatest thing on earth. Apparently, they have great reviews.
We're slowly going to die out. That's what this is.
Yeah, dude. We're gonna stop having sex with each other and just start fucking robots.
Right, like that's. I see that happening.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
$1,300.
This is the thing. Yeah, Tom, take a peek up at this. Okay, yeah, this is what I was talking about. It's wild, man, and it's like a big thing on like OnlyFans and stuff. It's like, oh, look what I bought. come check out me try this for the first time, and it's a fucking Jesus Christ. It's a
the
demon.
detachables.
It's a demon. It is what it is. It's a demon that sucks her soul out.
Yeah.
I'm serious, man. But sex toys are wild, man. So do you think before the OnlyFans stuff that before, like during when you were just strictly boudoir, do you think that it affected your personal life or not your sex life, but like...
Yeah, because you have to find a partner that's like okay with the fact that, yo, I'm making bread doing this.
Yeah, did you have an issue?
No. Luckily for me, like, but I'm also like, if the woman I'm with at the time and stuff, I'm single now, but if I'm with a woman and stuff and I'm doing a shoot, you can come,
Yeah.
So it's one of them things I'm not going to be like, hey, hon, I'm about to go to work and stuff. And she knows that I'm working with all these women and stuff. And then I come home sweating and be like, today was a good day. It's one of them things there. Yeah. So lucky for me, it's always just been a conversation, as long as you're honest with them, usually don't have a problem.
Damn, dude. Think about porn stars. How do they do it?
With wish list on Amazon.
No, I mean like with their relationships though.
Same.
How do they do it?
So like the last 7 months, my friendship with so many porn stars now have grown.
Dude, they make like fake cum and stuff for porn.
Yeah.
Like, dude, so much of porn's like fake.
Yeah.
It's so wild.
It's just a job to them. That's the mentality. That's just hot. A job.
I like that. I like that it's fake.
But off the sexy talk and onto some like photography stuff. Do you think your skills as a photographer improved while you were in Atlanta?
Oh,
like you learned lighting better or
kinda. There's a few tricks that I've picked up. Yeah, kinda.
Do you think it was just because you were like locked into it more down there?
Well, the opportunity actually using a studio, like I hate to say it like that. My quality of my work is significantly better when I actually have a studio versus when I'm have my home,
right, like a guest
studio in the bedroom and stuff like that. When I actually have a studio in the space, like you're able to like fully use your skills, versus trying to adapt to like, okay, well, this is a small space. I have to only use this lighting, like, oh man, I can't bring this light too much above the, but like at the studio, I'll have a 40-inch umbrella that I can use. And I'm like, okay, I have the space.
Yeah.
And like, so shout out to VS, like once again, shout out to VS1. His studio just had the space. It let me just do my thing.
Are there spaces like that around here that rent out?
Not yet. So there's not a single space in Evansville that a photographer can rent out. There's not, like if you go to Pier Space, that's crazy.
Actually, Blackstrap Media just moved to a new office and they're now renting out their old studios, like their office building and studio space.
Okay.
You can rent it out, I think, by the day or by the hour. But yeah, I was talking to
Brandon
Kevin
Gabriel used to have one here in town.
Corrected.
He stopped doing it. I got the opportunity to shoot one time with this photographer. He's now dead. He died during COVID, but
Jesus.
He rented a studio space at the old courthouse. And he was photographing this lady, and he invited me, and I got to bring like another buddy along, and we brought like 2 or 3 random people, and he let us just play around in his studio for like a couple hours, and that was fun.
Nice.
That's got to feel like a cheat code, though. Like, especially in the boudoir scene, right? Because like you were just explaining, you're like in their bedrooms or your bedroom, and you've got
the best place is probably an Airbnb.
Right.
You'd be surprised.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Have you ever done that before?
Yeah, but I'm less and less. Airbnb has a lot of rules now, and they're really they're really against making that type of content. So a lot of Airbnbs, you have to check out the rules because some of them strictly say no photography in there. So like there's dope spaces in Evansville, like some unique spaces, but you can't use it for photography.
Oh, that checks out. But it's almost got to be, like I was saying, it's almost got to be like a cheat code to be like in this bedroom and you're like maneuvering around an end table and hopping over a fucking baby crib or something and making it work and doing the great work that you did for years, plural. And then you get with VS1, Senor Sanchez hooking it up. Shout out to that guy. But you get in this space where you've just got like, oh, here's the lamp, put that here, and you can just like roam, and do your whole thing, and you're backpedaling, and you're coming up close. You get all the angles. It's got to feel like a cheat code.
It is. It's unmatched, and then if you have the space, you can make a bedroom in the studio.
And I like that you can use the different colors of the backdrop, and all you got to do is pull something down.
Yeah, yeah.
What is there a benefit to shooting in a personalized space, like an actual living space, versus a studio? And careful what you say, because we're shooting in a personalized space right now. No, I'm joking.
It depends on what you're doing.
Is there a benefit ever, like in what you do specifically with the boudoir stuff? Would you ever like pick a personalized space, like, oh, I want her bedroom over this studio this time?
Oh, well,
you know what I mean? Is there ever a benefit to that?
Yeah. I mean, especially like hotel rooms and stuff like that, because I mean, everything's already set up. If you need a nice, room and stuff, then yeah, you don't have to get a backdrop. You don't have to, not just backdrop. You don't have to get a backboard, a blow up bed, the nice covers. All that stuff is already there. So there's that benefit, with the photography scene at least. But like, trying to convince someone to like, hey, come back to my place, then, shoot is a lot harder versus saying like, hey, I have a studio, people just feel more comfortable at a studio.
Yeah. We've been dealing with it for like 150 episodes now. So we get it. It's weird inviting guests from out of town and you're like, hey, stop on by Daddy's house. We'll record a podcast. You know what I'm saying?
But no, so I would think that a podcast would feel more comfortable. Like I feel comfortable. I don't feel pressured.
Almost. It's less professional though, certainly.
Do you think?
Like,
what?
It's 50-50 for me. Like if I was invited onto a podcast and they were like, I'm just going. But so long as their content's legit, which now that we have a good catalog, people can tell. But like, yeah, it's hard to... I always feel a little weird whenever we get like a name from out of town, and like Frank Bill is a good example. Shout out to Frank Bill. New York Times bestseller from Cordon, Indiana, way out by Louisville. Oh, nice. And he drove all the way here to be physically on the show as opposed to an internet one. And I was like, yeah, here's the address. It's my house. You know what I mean? And you're about to have a New York Times bestseller just like walk into your house.
That's kind of cool though.
Or we tried to get Bert Kreischer on. We had this huge ad thing going on where we were trying to get Bert in while he was in town for a show. And it just would have been weird had we made it happen. Like, oh, Bert Kreischer's just at my house. You know what I mean? Like, a little weird, less professional.
Well, and I feel like in a studio, like Bert instance, like he could have brought his whole crew with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
versus like, or like if we had a band come in, like you could have their whole band.
Yeah. And yeah, the space is definitely, I don't know. I'm a big fan of studio work.
TDG Tiny Desk coming soon.
Hell yeah, dude. So you said not yet. And of course, Drew brought up Blackstrap. So shout out to them for starting that. But do you know something we don't know? Are you allowed to say something that we don't know?
So I don't want to speak. I want to say, yeah, I'm working on something. I'm going back and forth with pricing in this location and stuff, but I am working on something, and I want to bring a studio, like a good studio that people can use. Now I've shout out to the Blackstrap. I haven't seen their space and stuff, so I don't want to just like talk smack on them or anything. So because I didn't know anything of it until just now, but I definitely want to create make a studio down here that people can rent out and utilize, because there's tons of artists down here,
and there's
just no place.
There's this downtown, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, it's a little towards Jimtown, but it's on Maryland Street.
So like if you did something on the opposite side of that, you know what I mean? You'd be, it would be all right. I think as long as it's not like right next door to each other.
That's,
you know what I mean?
That'd be messed up.
And it's a market, it's called a market for a reason.
Well, and Evansville needs it because like,
more spaces.
I mean, even a thing like you said, where it's like a tight knit, like a team. You know what I mean? Like I've been trying to do that. Like Drew, he's a part of the TDG team, so like he needed some wireless microphones. I'm like, here, borrow them.
Which I fucking forgot to bring back today.
It's all good, man. I don't need them until next month.
One more. I'm joking.
No, but you know what I mean? It's like that community of, you know what I mean? Like you want to build that network of like gear, and I have a fuck ton of gear, and it's like it's just sitting there when you're not using it.
Yeah, that's true. And then also, speaking of gear, we have a ton of podcast gear. So if you're wanting to shoot a podcast, hit us up.
Yeah,
hit them up.
No, man, but yeah, it's interesting. I like the studio thing, and that'd be cool if you open one up. I bet that's a legal nightmare, though. I'm sure. Yeah. Have you had a chance to look into any new and up and coming videographers or photographers from around the Evansville area that maybe you didn't know about the time you were in Atlanta, and now they're just kind of like blowing up? Is there anybody new on the scene recently you're watching?
Well, so what was her name? Oh man, I want to say Vanessa, but I could be wrong. Her art is blowing up. She started roughly around the same time, but she's kind of been doing it like off and on and stuff. But as of lately, I've noticed that she's been doing it more and more often. Her art is just like, I don't know what clicked, but something clicked with her, and she's doing her thing.
Vanessa,
are you So like you mentioned before the show, you've been using a lot of YouTube University.
Yeah.
Are you using Photoshop more than Lightroom?
No, I still use
Lightroom.
So Lightroom is strictly for my colors and everything. Like I want to get my color and lighting perfect, but then I export to Photoshop.
Because when you're doing boudoirs, normally when you're doing a lot of that extra cleanup touches, pimple removal, stuff like that.
Oh, tight, dude.
Yeah.
Can they do that? Can you do that with us?
Not during the
Can you
video, but
give me some
I mean,
hair?
technically you could.
You could. It would just be a pain in the ass.
well, yeah, because I would have to do it 30 frames per second. So I would have to go in 30 times just to get 1 second of that gone.
I'll take hair for 1 second. I'm joking. That'd be tight, though. If you could just
Easter egg.
CGI some hair on Brian for an episode.
It just flashes on.
If I can figure it out in the next week, he gets Trump hair.
That's what's up, man. No, I want a mullet like Drew's got, dude. Dude, if we had twin hair. Yeah, dude. Look at those luscious locks, man. That's what I'm saying. Can you just Command C, Command V that?
So, so what's it been like learning, like, because Brian's been like running into a bunch of issues, or like, and then it's just like, you either go to Google or you go to YouTube, but I feel like YouTube's that shit for it.
Yeah, if you know what you're looking for, yeah. I hate when I'm like trying to figure out what I'm trying to do, but I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what the words. So I'm like, take hair, paste, and then they say, I got an old guy. Hey, if you want to, I'm like, oh no, wrong video.
Yeah.
Like
you just see some toes like wiggling in frame. You're like, oh, this is not the video I showed up for.
Right.
This thumbnail was very deceiving.
But like you're having to go in and like if their fingernail paint is like chipped or whatever, or missing in a spot, like you got to fill that in. Like, I mean, you're taking pictures of girls that like dudes are zooming in on. You know what I mean? They gotta be.
That's true. God, and I hate to admit it. That is so true.
Yeah.
God, dudes are so disgusting. Jesus.
But the chicks do it.
I will say, yeah.
They look at the photo 100 times more than one guy would.
And yeah, you got to think like a woman too. Like I've learned makeup now, and hair. Like hair is very important. So like things that we may overlook because we're like, oh man, the photo look amazing. She was like, no, my split ends. Yeah. So now I have to like YouTube how to get rid of split ends to make it look natural and stuff via Photoshop. Right. Like the stuff I put in YouTube has been so weird, but like you have to.
Not as weird as mine, good friend.
God, dude, I wish we could just like log into your YouTube and like.
We can. I only use the Days Grimm.
No, I'm talking about for him just to see the goofy shit. He's like, how to give a person an extra toe or something in Photoshop. I don't know. I can only imagine, dude. But that goes to a test Photoshop, man. It's a phenomenal software. It really is. Do you fuck with Premiere, I guess, at all when you're doing your video stuff? Mm-hmm.
That's my main one I use.
So what do you think over, what's another one that you use? Are you on?
Strictly Premiere.
Strictly Premiere?
What's the, matter of fact, I'm just going to say, Strictly Premiere.
You don't fuck with DaVinci
He's
at
like
all?
media encoder.
There was another one. What's the one? It's industry standard.
After Effects?
No. Fuck. The only thing that's coming to mind is DaVinci, but
yeah, I just know Premiere Pro and DaVinci. Those are the only two.
Final Cut? That's the only other one I know.
Final Cut. Well, no, that's all Adobe. It's not Adobe. It's not an Adobe thing. It's if you went to film school or photography.
Well,
I feel same.
you could say that, I guess.
But there's an industry standard. I forgot what it's called.
DaVinci's almost that industry standard now. I feel like if you learn on it, they got plugins that you can do almost anything they can in the movies.
Yeah, and it's a one-time.
But you
fee.
can't. Yeah, but it's a one program. Whereas with Adobe, you have Premiere, but then you have to use After Effects to make like the CGI stuff, and then you put it in through something else.
A
and
code. You
just like you were
code.
talking about with your Mog or whatever.
Yeah, the Mogerts or
Yeah,
whatever.
It's not Man Gogurt either, by the way, people.
Yeah, this motherfucker walked up to me before we started, and he goes, "What do you know about Mogerts?"
And I was like, dude, I don't know
what
Harry
is that?
Potter. What are you talking about?
It's
Like,
motion graphic transitions or something, transactions or something. But basically, it's like moving subtitles. That's all it is. That's what everybody uses for TikTok and their 9x16 videos.
I know how to do that manually. I don't know anything about like programs that do it for you.
That's funny, right? Because you learn the long way of how to do something, right? And nowadays everything's just like a drag, click, and that's it. And you're like, but I don't know how to do that.
It's like,
I don't know
but
how to modify that.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that, but I can go in and add keyframes until I get it to where I want.
Right.
It's robots,
so I used
dude.
to do it in school, you know what I mean? But then like teachers would be like, "No, you did it the wrong way," and I'm like, "You still got the result,
It's like
bitch."
my
Like,
answer is right.
Show your work.
Yeah, dude, shout
yeah,
out.
but showing my work gets me in trouble. You know?
Right.
Yeah, is that a set of boobs that you drew there?
My
what are
work
you doing
is
here,
you're
Tom? You're a bitch. No, but dude, school does suck.
Was
though.
there any fun like pranks you guys used to play on your teachers in school?
Oh no, I was a square.
Really?
Yeah, I was a square. Yeah, I'm a nerd. I
Were
didn't
you-
do anything.
Oh, like good at school? Did you
Oh
get
no,
good
no,
grades?
no! I was a square that sucked at school.
Oh,
C's get you
Like me
degrees.
and another buddy used to know how to do like,
Oh, I
and
hated
so
that,
like
dude.
we would be on different rooms, and every time we had a substitute teacher, we had like almost similar last names, so we were in all the same classes, and we always sat on opposite ends. So like it'd be like reading time, and like somebody next to you is reading, and you do that, and the substitute teacher's like looking around, and then like she'd get by me, and I'd stop, and then he would do it in the back of the classroom, and she, and then like. Sometimes I'd get on the phone and like call the janitor that there's like a bird in the ceiling.
God, dude, that reminds me of the time I stayed in Gatlinburg and I caught a bird in my cabin.
Nice.
It was really great.
Yeah, we caught
Birds
a bat
better than
once
a
in the
bear.
cabin.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of Gatlinburg, do you stay on the strip? Do you ever been to Gatlinburg?
No.
You haven't?
No,
No.
what's some fun things to do in Atlanta? Like you got to know like the
True.
hometown area-esque. So like what are some fun local spots?
No idea. I was boring. So
He said, I didn't leave the studio. That's what I,
I
went
re-
there for.
honestly, that was my life. I was working. Wake up in the morning, go to work, get off work, go to the studio. After I do the studio, go home, edit photos, go to work the next day. Like, besides hosting a few game nights at my own place, like I didn't really get out that much. But there's a lot to do in Atlanta. You can't go to Atlanta and not find something for you to do.
There's like the Coca-Cola factory, or you can go visit my gay uncles. It's really, those are the two most popular.
Uncle Gary and Uncle Gary. Dude, how cool would that be if both their names were Gary?
Or they rhymed like Gary and Larry.
Fuck, that'd be so tight.
Double
so
trouble.
tight. But I don't know. So you said when you got, what initially even took you down to Atlanta? So like you were shooting up here for years, and then you just like woke up one day and you're like, I need to get out of here, or you had an opportunity, or like what even took you down there?
Well, it all started with a murder, but
Oh, nice.
no, I'm
dude.
joking.
No.
No, I don't know. My mom put this bug into me because she used to be the same way. You just wake up bored one day. You wake up and you're just like, I need something different, and it bugs you, and it just constantly bugs you, and it's like you know what it is, but like everything around you is boring now, and you just like something needs to change. And for me, I always have that. Whenever that does happen, I have that impulse is like, well, let me do something. And I was like, well, I haven't been taking my photography and filmmaking as serious as I wanted to. So I was like, why not go to Atlanta? I was going to go back to California, but I was like, I finally make the amount of money to move back to California, but I was like,
Yeah.
it's pretty far,
It's pretty far.
Like-
It's very expensive.
Yeah, and things it's gotten strict down there.
People are jumping ship out
Yeah.
of California
Was
too.
it? Was
Yeah.
there ever like anything dicey in Atlanta?
Ever see like some bum fights or something or
No, not really.
no?
Boring. I was
Damn,
told you,
dude.
boring. I mean, there was always interesting people at the studio, and you're
Like you
kinda
said,
just
your
like,
homie always had like a random B-list.
Yeah,
celebrity in there.
he always knew someone.
Was that interesting? Like you walk in and it's like somebody that you know about or look up to, and you're like, oh shit, what's up?
He used to do this kind of how like Tiny Desk was.
Yeah.
He was doing that, so he had like artists come in, and I was like, I think I know that artist and stuff, but I'm like almost 40, so like it's a lot of younger people and stuff.
Yeah.
But only one time that like he had someone coming in, I was like, oh yo, and I'm a nerd, but like there's this chick named like LA Love the Boss, caked up, but like beautiful. I've been wanting to meet this chick forever, and I've been trying to shoot with her forever. And then he was like, hey, that chick that you always like in her posts on Instagram? And I was like, oh, I always like it. He's like, yeah, man, I've checked every photo you're liking.
Yeah.
The restraining order tells you no.
Yeah.
But he was like, yeah, she's at the studio.
He's like, bring a telephoto lens, stay 200 yards away, but get all the photos
right.
you want.
Stay across the street.
You're right.
Yeah.
I'll leave the window open.
So did you get to meet her?
Yeah.
You got to meet her?
And you
Did
got to take photos?
Yeah. Well, I got to do a video for her, and I was like, stuff like that was amazing. But no, let me stop before I get murdered. But yeah, no. So
did
like,
you end up getting do you have like a gimbal now?
yeah.
That's always fun to play
Yeah.
with when you first get it. You
Yeah.
got that weird gimbal walk though.
Mhm.
Where it's like you got a broken back and
Yeah, hunched over and it's heel to toe, heel to toe, heel to toe.
what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, it's funny though. So like, there's a certain way you hold the gimbal, and they're like you saying stuff.
Yeah.
They wanted not landscape. What's
Like a wide
the
angle?
word? Man, the word is
vertical.
yeah.
It's-
9 by
Portrait.
16?
Huh?
9 by 16 or portrait? Yeah.
Yeah, portrait. They wanted a portrait video for the cell phone with my professional camera. And I'm like, well, I mean, the gimbal is not supposed to be held that way. And it was like, yeah, that's cool. All right, then I guess, so I was like, shot the whole video with it sideways and stuff. And I'm walking weirdly.
But it
and I
like
was-
balances itself out.
It
if you
does.
Yeah, but
calibrate
you
that
feel
way.
weird muscles that you
Yeah.
would never use
Yeah.
in real life.
right.
cramp
It
in your
feels
fucking-
all off.
Get
Like,
a cramp in your weenus. You're like, God, I've never had that before.
Right.
Jeez, dude. No. So other than Lady to Boss, is there another notable person you got to meet working with Sanchez?
yes. but
Also, I don't
like,
know why I said his name mysterious like that.
No, it's funny because every time, like, the fact that he's not Hispanic at all.
Right.
It would catch me
And
off
he's
guard
like-
for sure.
Like, and I was like, all right, well, your family? He's like, yeah, I got some Spanish in my family. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then I meet his family, and I'm like, you liar! No, there's no one that's Hispanic here. Like, how did you get that last name? Like,
He's not white, right?
no, black dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like a black dude named Sanchez makes more sense than a white dude named Sanchez.
I feel like it's
I'm 50-50
equal.
I feel like there's
Yeah.
some Mexicans out there that can pass for pretty white.
Yeah, you get that.
Do you think?
Like Tom Segura.
do you think our Mexican? Yeah, dude, he's super
Well,
white.
that's
Well, he's-
Peruvian,
he's
but
Spanish.
still.
Yeah, he's
right?
Hispanic. It's still
Peruvian.
Hispanic,
Peruvian.
right?
Yeah, it's actually Portuguese. No, he's Hispanic. He's Spanish. But no, I don't know what I was gonna say. I had a good point, and then you ruined
Was there
it with,
any like anything you learned that you think like somebody should know in the photography world that like you learned in the last 7 months? It was like a game changer for you.
Really, just learn editing. Editing gets you your freedom back. Not having to rely on other people and stuff. So, like being a good photographer is one thing. Yeah, learn your lighting, all the basics and stuff. But like, seriously, learn editing. Like, you get more clients. That the fact that you can edit, you don't have to outsource and wait like forever and stuff.
I
But
always liked being that homie that like your buddy was like, hey man, like I can't get these teeth to look white but real. You know what I mean? And then they would send you the photo and you would like it was always nice when a homie was like, "Hey, can you just touch this one thing up on this photo for me?" Like I always liked being that. But like you were saying, become that guy basically.
Yeah, gives you way more work. But yeah, it reminded me. I don't know why this story. You said, "Did I see anything wild?" So did a show. It was a car show and everything. Did a show and this one. I want to say this guy had to be a Colombian drug lord. Like it is hilarious. So like we're doing the show, we're shooting all the cars and stuff. He has these models and stuff come in from all over, and he's just a part of the show. He's not like, it's not him running the show. We get a noise complaint from the building that we're in. It's the what is it called? The Mercedes building, Mercedes Stadium that's in Atlanta. It's huge.
Shit. The football field?
Yes.
Jesus.
Well, is there a football field in there?
Yeah. That's where the Falcons play.
Yeah. He buys the entire studio. I mean, the entire space out. Like, we only had the one space for the car show. And then they kept coming in and complaining. And he was like, "Oh, that's fine. I'll buy it." And she was like, "What?" He was like, "Just any room that's available, I'll buy it." Bro, how much? Like I shot for the rest of the night, but I was like, yeah, don't make him angry. I don't know. I don't know what's
up with this.
That is, if you could just buy the whole studio out or the stadium out. I keep saying studio. Buy the entire stadium out. Yeah, you have fuck you money. Like,
yeah, dude, that dude's pushing.
Yeah,
You gotta be pushing.
that was
insane,
that was
dude.
the sketchiest thing.
A lot more dead headdressers coming soon.
Yeah, no shit, dude. That dude knows people in very, very low places.
That dude's carrying that Narcan or whatever, you know.
That dude has a bodyguard named Sponge. You know what I
He
mean?
has a bodyguard named Sanchez.
God damn, dude. I wouldn't fuck with that guy. I would probably be like, nah, you know what? I don't want to shoot this all of a sudden. I'm good. Like,
I gotta go.
I'm gonna see my way out. Dude, no, that's wild, man. I can't believe he rented the entire Mercedes-Benz stadium.
That is millions.
That's
you just
gotta be
at a
millions.
whim.
Yeah.
At a whim, you just spent millions.
What, another $190,000? Yeah, put it on
I'm
the
sure there's
tab.
a pro rate on it to a certain degree.
Put it on my fucking tab. He
Right.
says. You know what I mean? Like, what a dick.
You know what? Go get some sparklers
Rich
and bring me some
mofo.
champagne.
You got any strippers out there? Bring ladies of the evening, whatever. Just bring them in here.
Bring the football team in. I need an autograph from each one of them. Like,
Right.
Where's Matt Ryan at? Get him over here now.
I wonder if you could do that though. Like, would you make money if you bought an entire stadium out and you made each football player sign something? Could you sell the merch and get that much money back?
There's actually a licensing deal with that.
Fuck them.
Yeah, true. So fuck them, I guess. I don't know. It's a union. That's why. They're only, it's like if I was actually talking to I am Cooper about this today. But like when they sign the agreement to work with the players union, which every player does, they have like a licensing agreement that they're only allowed to work hand in hand with the NFL or like NFL affiliate people. Yeah, it's really kind of gay. But no, so in the 7 months that you were down there, did you have any I guess, well, I don't want to ask the darkest question.
What made you move back?
For my daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always like the tough part about like moving away. Work's offered me other positions out of town. I'm just like, I don't want to be that far.
Do you have any advice for photographers like on the not photography side, like more so on the like networking and business side? Did you learn anything in Atlanta about that? Like,
I do, but I'm also super curious about your dark question.
Well, that's how we end every show.
Okay.
Every show ends on a dark question, and we'll get there. You'll probably be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that question." But no, on the business side, networking wise, when you were down in Atlanta, did you learn anything about that might be helpful to like a new a person getting into photography?
I was going to. So this is going to sound contradicting because I was going to say take every offer you can chance, but that's not. Once you get so far ahead, don't take every offer. So, but when you first starting off, take every offer. Like you never know who knows who. So like go there, give 110%, even if you don't really make anything off of it and stuff. Go there and make great quality and just keep networking. Like don't stop. Like even when you feel discouraged or whatever, and you feel like, man, I don't know if my name is getting out there. Out of nowhere, you never know who sees your work. And it could be something that you've done months or years ago. that'd be the one thing that were like, oh, well, yeah, cool. I needed a wedding photographer, but I wanted something different.
I don't even post on my photography page anymore, and I'm still getting calls for stuff. You know what I mean? So like, I forget to post. You know what I mean? Because I just keep getting work, and it's like, oh, I don't need to.
That's good though. You're already on auto then, like
right. But I also going on this point is like. Also reach out. You know what I mean? Like I hit you up and was like, hey, you want to go shoot photos? No clue what we're going to take.
That was a dope night. That was a dope night, man.
Yeah, but just do that. You know, like you see a photographer that you like out there and like you're getting into the game or you've been in the game, like reach out to him and be like, hey, are you free one night just to walk around and take photos?
Yeah.
Crazy. Cause you make that point too. Cause I tell people like, I'm always willing to teach, you know, I don't know everything, but I know enough where I think my quality of my work speaks for itself. So like, I'm always down to work with new photographers or anyone who wants to do some shoots, or like, even if I'm doing a shoot, if another photographer is like, hey, can I come? Yes. Like someone who I can talk shop with and stuff. And then like, you can get some shots in while I get some shots as well. I'm always down for that.
It's funny you say that. A friend of mine, his name's Drew. He was dabbling in the boudoir game. Now he's trying to get into it. So I promise he's over 18 now, but I might send him your way.
That's fine.
All right. You hear that, Drew? It's all legal now, guys. No. Do you want to wrap it up, dude?
On this journey of, you know, since you've been in the studio last, like, has there ever been like a dark moment where you got mad, close the laptop, put the camera gear up, or maybe something else, and you don't have to go into that moment, but like, what pulled you through that moment?
So discouraging for me, where I have moments is when like I do a shoot or I plan a shoot out and I get all the props or something, or I find the location and I do all this work and then no one shows up. And then you're just sitting there and you're like, man, you know, like this was important to me, but obviously wasn't important to them. And then you feel like, well, you know, maybe I'm just not important, you know, maybe just, and you really start speaking low. But like, you just got to remember why you're doing it. Like, I don't really do this. I mean, people want to hate me for saying this. I don't really do this for money. I do it because I'm passionate about photography. So like, yeah, there's going to be people who suck sometimes and not show up. But like, there's also going to be people who are just waiting for you to reach out to them before they can show up. So it's like, do that, you know, always remember why you're doing it and then do it, you know.
When that happens, do you like adapt and make like a post like, hey, I'm at this location, first 2 people to show up, I'll shoot you or something?
Like an impromptu shoot. Yeah.
No, I usually just drink and get in a shower and cry myself to sleep a little bit. Yeah. But
I didn't know if you I didn't know if you used like the wireless camera app on your phone and strip down yourself and take some photos.
Sometimes.
On a tripod,
damn, dude.
You know?
Yeah, no. Sometimes, well, not strip naked, but you know,
I pay to see those shots.
Alonzo's OnlyFans.
Got a long nipple, but
Alonzo's OnlyFans.
But get blocked from there. We will pay you
dude.
To stop.
Dude, honestly, if you start an OnlyFans, let us know. Get us the link. We'll promo it.
If I start an OnlyFans, will you put my link in the bio of every episode?
Yes, 100%. Without a hesitation.
I feel like people would be curious about that. They're like, oh man, this is a great show. OnlyFans.
Yeah. And then they see that mullet and that it's blonde, and they're like, I'm in. $20.
Do you have blue eyes?
No.
You might need to get blue-eyed contacts.
Hey, Tom, your Aryan race is showing. Settle down, dude.
So,
this guy,
Alonzo,
you can't take him anywhere.
Shout outs. Who's got you to where you're at? Who's keeping you going? I mean, we shouted out VS1.
Yeah.
But anybody else?
Down here?
Down here,
anywhere.
Down there, wherever. Who helped you get to where you are, and who's helping you get to where you're going?
So right now I'm on a solo journey. Actually, you know what's funny? I'm getting into toy photography. I'm getting away from boudoir. Yeah. I'm getting away from shooting with people and doing more like toy photography. I'm eventually. I haven't started posting that stuff
yet.
Do
something like claymation, like shot by shot.
Honestly, you know,
we did do that in middle school. Make a like minute-long shot by shot video.
It's a lot of work, but it's fun.
It's a pain in the ass, but yeah.
But because of that, I'm now on more of a solo thing. But like I said, I will have to say once again, shout out to VS1 ATL Sanchez. Like, he gave me the opportunity to shoot in Atlanta, and that really helped out. It brought my passion back as well, right. You know. So
I will say a piece of advice on the miniature setup. I got a buddy that does only studio stuff, and it's like, you know, he'll take stuff and he like hangs stuff by like fishing wire and everything.
Yes.
And his studio's in his garage, right? So he's got that whole space set up there, and then everywhere around is all like crushed beer cans and like everything like that. Because he's just in there drinking while he's doing it.
He's
And
living the life.
He gets lost in doing everything, and the next thing you know, there's like a case of beer that's been gone.
Yeah.
And he's out there, but his shots are fucking killer.
And
Titties.
see, I got to meet him because, like, that's a friend. I definitely want to meet him.
I reached out to him. I was like, dude, I love your work. Let's go shoot. And then like he was like, yeah, sure. And then he's like, hop in my car. And then like we're driving. We're like 30 minutes down the road, and he's like reaching in his back seat, and he's got like like a 24 case of beer, and he's just like pulling them out and cracking them. I'm like,
That's my guy.
okay, here we are. But dude,
That's
hell
my
of
guy,
a
dude.
photographer.
I'm on Sober October still successfully. I'll have
I'm
you
drinking
know.
water.
Yeah, but
I tried to get him to take some mushrooms.
that sounds like my kind of guy, dude. No, man.
I'm gonna have to put it on my dick and get him.
You know he's unstoppable when you pull that thing out.
Dude, I'm telling you, dab some mushrooms on that, dude. No, I'm joking. No, you could have done anything for the last 2 hours, Alonzo. I greatly appreciate you making time for us and stopping in for a round 2 or part deux, as your people would like to say, the French people. Boudoir is French, right?
I think so.
Yeah. But no, yeah, stopping in for part deux. So I greatly appreciate you as a human being, and your talents are much appreciated as well. And I'll probably zoom in on some pictures after we're done here. So I just really greatly appreciate you, and thank you for everything, man. So,
No, appreciate you guys for having me.
Oh,
yeah, no
anytime.
sweat, man. Anytime you're here, we're ready to shoot. So this has been another thrilling episode of the Days Grimm. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Alfred Grimm III.
And I'm Andrew Charles Head.
And this has been Alonzo.
This has been Alonzo. Thank you so much, sir.
Oh, God.
No outro music. God damn it.